Why are we drawn to people who hurt us? You felt this before. You know someone isn't right for you, but you still can't stop thinking about them. You check your phone. You wait. You hope they'll text, even though you know they probably won't. And you start wondering why them. Why not someone who treats you well at first? It feels like attraction, a spark, something special. But then they change, they become colder, more distant. And that's when you start thinking about them even more. Because uncertainty is addictive when you don't know what's going to happen. Your brain holds on tighter. One day, they give you attention. The next, they disappear. And that contrast makes everything feel more intense. You start waiting for those rare moments when they're warm again. And those moments begin to feel incredibly valuable, even though they're just rare. And slowly you get attached not to the person, but to the feeling, to those emotional highs that come and go, but there's something deeper. Sometimes this feels familiar because you've experienced it before. When love wasn't consistent, when attention had to be earned, and your brain learned that this is what love feels like. So when it happens again, it feels right, even if it hurts. And then you start believing that you can change them, that with you, they'll be different. But over time, you realize you're the only one trying. You wait, you opravduješ, you ignore your own feelings, and little by little you lose yourself, and at some point, it stops being love and becomes dependence. It becomes waiting, anxiety, and constant thoughts. But the truth is, real love doesn't feel like this. It doesn't make you question yourself. It doesn't make you suffer. Real love is calm, it's stable, it's safe. And yes, at first it might feel unusual because there's no chaos, but there's also no pain. And eventually you understand you don't have to suffer to be loved. You don't have to prove your worth. And sometimes the hardest but most important choice is to walk away. Not because you don't care, but because you finally choose yourself, and then everything changes. Because you stop chasing someone who doesn't choose you and start choosing something real. So ask yourself, what do you really want? Love or addiction?